Big is definitely better, at least in a tropical garden, or so they say. But things are really starting to take off. It's July, and I want to take you through my garden. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, it's Tim. Welcome back to my channel. I survived the garden club visiting my garden. It actually was a lot of fun. The people were really nice. I was so concerned that it was going to be like Facebook Marketplace and all kinds of crazy people were going to come in my garden and make fun of it or not like it and go, why do you have palm trees? And no, they were all great. I met some really nice people. And it was a lot of fun, even though I was so nervous about it. So I don't think I'm going to open up my garden to everyone going forward. I prefer showing all of you. It has been a crazy week out here. I have had so many things going on in the garden. I got some new plants. I've got things blooming. I'm moving things around. I'm actually thinking about next year. And I know that's bad because then I have to say the evil word winter, which I don't want to even think about because we're finally getting all this nice weather here in New York. But I am making some decisions about things I like and things I don't like and where I want things. And I do want to mention that I was so concerned about all my bananas, but the bananas behind me here, they died to the ground. Not died, but they went to the ground. There was no stalk left, and they have just come back so fast now. So those of you that's happened, even though I made major attempts to try to keep some of the stalk of the banana in place, they came back. I just had to wait a little bit. So it's July. It's the beginning of July, and that's usually when the tropical garden starts taking off. And if you're watching any of the other tropical garden channels, it seems like that's happening for everyone. And Europe's getting all this heat now, finally, and so is the UK, and so is New York. So we're all like living the tropical fun at the moment. And I keep getting torrential rains, but with all this heat, I'm actually not complaining about it because it's been coming at night. And like we got so much rain the other night that I actually today I'm going to have to drain my pool a little bit. It's actually too high, but I think the plants are loving it. I want to take you around everything. I want to show you some stuff going on. And then I also want to go through, we have this thing in the US in New York now called the lanternfly. And it's this really sadly beautiful fly that is really bad. It's not good. We're trying to get rid of it. It's not native, but I've got a lot of the nymphs or the small ones growing in my garden, not growing in my garden, living in my garden right now, and I do need to get rid of them even though they're actually quite really pretty, but I'll show you those as well. This is one of my Musa Basjoo that had no stem left. It went right to the ground. Look at it. It's already taller than me. And there was nothing in April, absolutely nothing in April. It started to come up a little bit in May, and then it just took off in June. And that just shows you how fast these can grow. And it shows you also, if you don't want to spend a lot of time on Musa Basjoo and you're like zone 6B and above, you really don't need to do anything. I will still do it just because I want to try to protect the stem some. I don't want to take chances on a really bad winter, which it really was this year in New York. And I'm hoping for a really mild winter after last year. But it just shows you how much growth you get on these. And I think by August, these are going to be gigantic. I would say these are my medium ones. The ones up by the house are huge. And the ones down by the pool are still really small for some unknown reason. But I still think they might be a different variety down there. Here are some of the ones down by the pool. You can see this one is getting quite tall too, up against the wall, and it was definitely at ground level there. Over here against the fence around the pool, yeah, this is still pretty small here. And I actually am okay with that just because I don't like to cover up the view of the river, especially when I have friends over swimming in the pool. They all want to see what boats are on the river. So they're okay right here. I just wanted to give you an idea of how tall this plant is, because when I try to show it on video, I don't think you quite see. So that's why I'm standing in front of it right now. Like, this is tall. This is really, really tall. And the flowers are really, really pretty in it right now. I'm looking at them and they're quite gorgeous, and I just wish I could capture that for you. I'm gonna try to right now. These flowers are so pretty. They're so much better than I thought they were. I had never seen a Yucca Rostrata blooming before, so this is the first time. And I'm just really excited about it. I don't think they last that long because some of the inner ones are starting to already fall off, but I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. And I need to do a little research to see if maybe I can get some seeds from this. Exciting, but it is such a pretty flower. So happy. I hope it blooms every year. And while I'm showing how tall things are, I never think my Washingtonia Robusta looks that tall when I'm showing you on video. But with me in the picture, you can see this is pretty massive. And like, I can come up and hug this. And this came in the mail a few years ago, like less than 5 years ago. So that just shows you how big, how fast these grow. And way over here is my monkey puzzle. So it is almost as tall as I am. It's definitely getting bigger. And maybe I can jump over here. Mule palm, still a problem. And then my Sylvestris over here is getting nice and big. It's just hidden among all these tropicals and perennials and a few sunflowers that are coming up where the squirrels left them. And here's my really big Washingtonia that's over here. I'm trying to be in the frame. Here I am standing up. I just want you to see how big this thing is. It's really wide too. And I love this one. The only thing I don't like is I am on a slight hill here. It's a little hard to cover in the winter just because of that slight little hill. When you're on a ladder, not so fun, but I love the location. I love how it looks. And if I could put more on the hill, I would, because I think they really look nice that way. It's just such a beautiful morning out here. I just can't get over the light on all this greenery and these tropicals. It really does show them off so well. I love summer. I love July because things just go crazy in the garden. My Chinese fan palm is actually getting really tall too. It's up on a little bit of a ledge, so it's a little deceiving. It looks taller than it is. But my Mediterranean fan palm here is doing really well too. I think it's grown a lot since I got it. I'm always surprised that the Mediterranean fan palms seem to do really, really well here and grow faster than they're supposed to. And to just give you an idea of the scale of these bananas up by the house, it's pretty amazing. They're huge. I just love getting up early in the morning. I get to see the beautiful light on the Hudson River. I get to see the boats. It's just a great place to live here in the Hudson Valley. And that's the interstate way off in the distance on the bridge way over there looking south. And here's one of my really large Trachycarpus fortunei by the pool. That's to just give you a nice scale of how big they actually are compared to me. And they're really fun to cover up in the fall, as you will see in a couple of months. But we're not going to talk about that now. The bamboo over by the caboose is just getting taller and taller and taller. I didn't think it would get that tall in Zone 6B, New York. I really didn't. I thought maybe it would top off at about 15 feet, but it's definitely getting taller. Here's a few more of the bananas by the house and me being silly, but they're definitely getting nice and big. And I was right, this one is definitely going to flower. So sadly I will lose that one, but at least there's a bunch more beside it. And of course, my favorite of all my palm trees, the Chilean wine palm hybrid. These Norfolk Island pines, one of them I've had since, I think it's almost 15 years old. And they've grown so much and they're so nice and big now. I really love them. While I was out walking this morning, I noticed that my cactus was blooming. And I love these things because they're so beautiful, but they're so short-lived. They bloom at night. I get to see them for just a few hours in the morning and then they go away. I've got them in 2 locations down around the pool. And I just think they're so pretty, but very short-lived, extremely short-lived. And if you're lucky enough to see them at night, they're beautiful in the moonlight. And they just have really gorgeous flowers. I love when cactus bloom. It's just an amazing thing to see. Speaking of blooming, I had to show this just because the light was shining on the Yucca Rostrata's bloom so pretty. It just kind of glows, and it really glows from the deck, which I'll have to go up and show you that as well. So pretty. My question to some of you who have Yucca Rostratas, do they bloom every year? Can I expect this now to happen all the time? Because I love it. That'll be so great if I get to see it every year now. Let me know. My Plumaria is still blooming down by the pool. Such a pretty color. And as I mentioned before on previous chapters, my figs all died to the ground, and you can see all these dead limbs, but they are coming back. But I need to get down here and chop all of this off. So I'm going to do some of that today and kind of show you what it looks like, but at least they survived. I was worried they did not even make it at all. And here, after chopping away, so sad, they were so nice and big last year, and I got so many figs, but it's my fault. I should have covered them. I should have done something. I was just expecting another mild winter. I haven't covered them in forever, in years now, but they're coming back, as you can see. And by the pool, they're coming back really fast here. I don't think I'm going to get any figs this year, but at least they're growing again. You can see a little bit of the dead in there from last year, but sad. Okay, it is time for... Yes, it is. It is Garden Meltdown of the Week. And this time it is a little bit of a real meltdown because I have the spotted lanternfly all over my garden. It's not in its big gigantic stage yet. It's, I guess, in its, they're calling it a larva stage, but it's really not. It just looks like a baby version of the big one. And I keep finding it on everything. Last year I had a few. The year before I had none when my neighbors had it, but I had none. It seems to be everywhere now, and I haven't really seen damage from it yet, but I'm nervous because everybody says how bad this particular bug is that is not from here. So fingers crossed. I may have to start spraying stuff. I really don't want to. I did just read that bats are eating them, and that's a really good thing. I'm hoping, I do have bats here. I hope the bats will come in and take them away. Please take them away, especially before they do any damage. I love a good pop of color around my tropicals, and I love Echinacea. I think it's a beautiful flower. I love how vibrant it is. I had it up on the hill. It was not happy there that its seeds all ended up down by the pool. I wish I had more of it, but it does not like to be on the hill. It likes to be in flat spaces. So it ended up around my palm trees down by the pool. And bee balm, it's so beautiful. I have tried and tried to get this to take off. It's finally starting to spread. It was not easy. In my old house, it spread really, really easy. Here's some white Echinacea. I just think it's all so pretty. But I do like normal flowers, as you can see, just mixed in with lots of tropicals. I'm not against normal flowers. I just have to have a little more. And my lilies are blooming, and I think they're just really pretty to have. And these, thank you again, Yvonne, for letting them bloom, because she told me how to fight that Asian lily beetle. But these are so pretty, I think. And add a pop of color and all this green. It is blazing hot out here, but one of my friends gave me 2 apple trees. So I need to get them in the ground. And even though it's so hot, I'm going to dig the holes, jump in the pool, plant these, jump in the pool, do some more gardening and jump in the pool. But I'm happy to have 2 apple trees, and I'll tell you what they are. They are Honeycrisp. 2 Honeycrisp. And I have 1 apple tree down there, and somehow, because there's so many apple trees in my area, it gets fertilized every year, so I have apples, so it gets pollinated. And but this will help. This will actually make it better, and then I'll have more apples. I am down in the Paw Paw patch. I've got my 2 apple trees there. This is my big apple tree here, and there are very few apples on it, but there are a few. I think the groundhogs got some of them, but there are some on there. And I kind of like that this tree is shading the pawpaws a little bit, because I don't think they love full sun, although they are in full sun, and you can see got plenty of pawpaws on the trees, and the trees are getting really big. But I think I'm just going to line it up right here down from the house. One tree is in. I've got the hole for another tree dug, but hard to tell, but I can hear thunder coming in. There's definitely a storm coming in. I can hear thunder. So maybe I don't have to water these. On the bright side, the rain will do it if it rains. I'm going to jump in the pool while I still can. This is a plant that my friend Miriam gave me. It's a Nerine. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. It's a South African, like a lily. And I don't think it's that hardy. I brought it inside. It lived inside. I need to do some research on it. But, it's just beautiful, I think. And back to my hardy lilies outside. I just think they're so pretty. I love white up against the green, and just adds such a nice pop of color. There's such beautiful flowers. And my butterfly bush is really starting to bloom in the garden now. It's not fully blooming yet, and the hummingbirds, even though they're out there, haven't discovered them that much. I haven't seen them around, and I haven't seen any butterflies. These are considered invasive in New York, but I like them. And then my magnolia is still blooming. I think we're at over a month now. It does like 1 or 2 blooms per week, and then those leave, and then it blooms again, and it just keeps going. After this, I think I only have a few more buds, but maybe I'm trying to get a month and a half of blooms out of this. I think that's pretty fantastic if I can make it that far with this magnolia. It's so pretty. I love the leaves too. It's just a pretty plant. Stumbled briefly upon Brady the Snake. She is still out there. And my hardy yuccas in the front yard. The flowers are beautiful on them too. Almost the same color, at least to me they look the same color as my Yucca Rostrata, but they're really pretty as well. Oleander at the gate is blooming. I do take these inside for the winter. They wouldn't make it out here. My friend Andrew has Echium in Germany, and I decided to order some seeds and try it here in New York. So I've got the seeds. I hope they will germinate. Came with some really nice instructions. I got them on Etsy, and I'm planting them away here. following the directions, little tiny seeds, and I've got them in the window here where it's going to stay nice and warm, and now I just wait to see if they actually will come up. Fingers crossed. I'll be so happy if I can get these to grow. And I put some Paw Paw seeds in the refrigerator this past fall, got them out a while ago and kind of forgot about them, and as you can see, they had a little too much growth in that plastic bag, so now I need to plant them in something. So I'm doing that. I'm rescuing them. And then I had to take a video of this because the light is so beautiful down here on these palms with the light coming through them. They almost glow. It's just such a pretty look in the garden when the sun is starting to go down a little bit and these palms illuminate so pretty in the garden. I just love the way the light hits. I always forget to show my vegetable garden. So here are my potatoes. I've never grown potatoes before, so we will see what happens in the fall with these. They look like they're growing really well. Let's hope beneath the surface of the soil I actually have potatoes. They're flowering a little bit. If anybody is great at growing potatoes, feel free to chime in. And I've got some squash and some peppers and lots of tomatoes here. These are all from seed from last year's tomatoes. I just have to keep them in line here so they're in the cages. And I have more down below as well, but hopefully I like tomato sauce a lot, so hopefully I'm going to get a lot of tomatoes. And then just checking in on my roebelenii here. It's starting to go to flower as well. I'm going to try to zoom in over here so you can see. It's a little late this year on flowering, I think because the winter was so bad, but I can definitely see the flower stalks starting to come out. I've never gotten seed from this. It just it will just flower and then they fall off, but I can definitely see them in there. Finally, I was wondering if it was going to happen or not this year. My lotus, there's dripping water all over the place. My lotus has outgrown this bowl. It's way too big. And I'm happy about that because it's doing really well. So let me show you the bowl that I got, which hopefully will be much better. I'm gonna put this down. It's too big, or the plant is too big. So I got this. It's big. It may not be big enough, but it's big for now. And luckily I had 2 plugs left over from the same company when I bought my pots that I have on the side, and because they didn't come with it this time. But hopefully this will work for this. I'm going to add more soil. I'm going to add more water and then put them in, and then hopefully it's in a good place. I am repotting my starfruit that I grew from seed. One is doing great. The other one lost all its leaves, but it looks like little baby leaves are coming back. Has this happened to anyone? But anyway, they're both going in new pots so that they can be successful, or hopefully successful. I'm trying this one more time with these. And then I was down looking, and my cholla is actually blooming. I thought it wasn't going to bloom this year, but it is blooming. So it looks really pretty. I love this plant, even though it's got so many thorns. And the hummingbirds are still loving my Greta hummingbird feeder that they sent me. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm being very diligent about changing the sugar water so that I don't make my hummingbirds sick. And it's nice that it's up against the windows here so I can see what's going on with the hummingbirds, because they're actually really fun. And when they're flying around, when you're sitting on the patio, their wings are really loud. And to wrap up this week's video, I'm trying to show the fireflies in my garden. They're so pretty, and there's so many, and the video just doesn't do it justice because they are everywhere, and I keep reading that there's a shortage of them this year, at least in the US, and I don't see it in my backyard because they are all over the place, and it just gives it a really magical look, especially at dusk, but just hard to video. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, but most of all, please put comments. I love corresponding with everybody. Tell me how your garden's doing. Tell me what you have in your garden, and also tell me where you are in the world. Sometimes I just don't know where you are and who I'm talking to, so please do that. And thank you so much for watching this week. I enjoyed it.